They had a 3-0 Jin. Palm Goat and Birdman were kind of gapping, to be honest, in that
Yeah.
early game. They were 1,000 gold ahead at one point, 1,500, I think, at one point, and that play would have certainly just eliminated Tupper from the game. But they didn't respect the teleport difference in top lane that had been earned by Giga and Malstixi, getting that kill onto Papa Francesco, double TP into the bottom lane. They turned that one around, and that, like you said, you were worried about it. You were calling it in the build up to game one. You were worried about how Akuma was going to bridge their early game to the late game, when eventually the double AD carry setup with the Corki and the Trooper would likely take over. Giga would scale up and be that giant void monster. And that, like you said, that was pretty much the lever that gave them the bridge.
Yeah.
They were able to stave off the dragon. And man, we saw what these players can do later in the game. Jedi pulling out triple kills, doing so much damage with the package, sacrificing himself to kill Palm Goat, and Giga just smurfing fights, getting flanked, just beautiful stuff from their captain there.
Honestly, you don't need to draft to bridge to the mid game if the other team's just going to do it for you, right? I mean, that's the easiest way to go about it, all things considered. But yeah, those packages by Jedi, I don't think I've ever seen a Corki have better package delivery than Jedi did in this game. That was outrageous. And Trinity, on the RE tried to make a difference. They were trying to roam around the map to get their side lanes further ahead, even went up to the top side to help Papa Francesco. But because there was so much top lane prio that Giga was able to generate, Trinity couldn't walk up. He couldn't walk up. Every time he tried to, they got spotted on a ward, or Malstixi was already in the area. There was just a lot of things going wrong that game for Trinity. And I love the Ignite idea. Could have been executed better.
Yeah, it definitely could have been, but we do have to give credit over to WyoBoomers for some of their play, because again, this was a super close game. We saw sort of the draft take over later in the game, but the early game was so good for them. Before Giga was this giant monster, Trinity did have more angles into fights. Rosero was doing excellent work on his ganks. We got one very early on in the bottom lane when we saw that lane freeze come out from Palm Goat and Birdman. Then we saw Birdman just head out to top lane, get a flash, go straight back to mid lane, help kill I Am No Jedi, was just all over the map helping his team in the early game. And it looked set up for WyoBoomer's success. At one point, they were on Soul Point. They got the first 3 Drakes, and that third Drake came in a very large one team fight. One of a couple of team fights that they sort of turned around despite it looking like they shouldn't win them. Some great play coming out from Palm Goat in particular, some great engages from Birdman, allowing them to win some of those fights. But in the end, WyoBoomers just couldn't hold on for long enough to strike the killing blow.
Yeah, I mean, when you draft for mid, you better win in mid. That's the bottom line here. If you're not getting ahead in the mid game on a composition like this, you're just not gonna win. I don't care if you have Soul. Infernal Soul might have been the only one to make the difference to give them that extra pump of damage, but there was also a lot of respect paid by the side of the Akuma Glaives, right? Jedi got the Quicksilver Sash and basically just became unkillable. I don't know how I felt about the Omni Stone, but it definitely did come in handy at a few different points in this game. And I thought Toy did a good job frontlining, but I think it was just more that WyoBoomers did a really bad job navigating some of those team fights.
Yeah, some of them were a little bit tricky as the game got away from them. There was one, early bottom river that both Trinity and Palm Goat tried to be a hero in. They tried to get the kill, and then just didn't quite happen for them.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a crit miss. It was, again, super close margins, but it just didn't quite happen. Nevertheless, we saw a lot of the good things we talked about from these players. Toy had a super sick one for one in the bottom lane after looked like they were outplayed. He headbutts Birdman back under turret. We've seen Birdman all over the map doing his usual get everyone ahead routine. Like, it was pretty much these two teams showing their full best and worst on display, and we see how close they truly are. The important thing that we need to mention, though, in this win for Akuma is this takes a lot of the drama, unfortunately, out of game number 2, because now they have locked their position in 3rd place. WyoBoomers can no longer catch them. They will finish in 4th place. So the standings pretty much at the top of the table set We still do have to wait, of course, for our Orbital New Age match to determine full playoff set later on. But this will be how the teams line up. Akuma will be 3, WyoBoomers will be 4. And yeah, that makes things interesting for playoffs because it will give Akuma side selection in all of their early matchups.
Yeah, that's a huge advantage. That is massive. And I think that when you have two teams that are this close together, that could be all it takes to make the breaking point, right? Akuma Glaives, they're looking nice, like they've peaked at the right time, I guess is what I'm saying. Like Giga has been a monster all split. Moustixie came in, has been doing a bang up job. Jedi playing like an animal, and Tupper and Toy, they're the classic like hang on to the log as it's flying down the river sort of bot lane, just hang in there, boys. The top side of the map, we're gonna take care of this for you, but you just survive.
Yeah, and we'll have to see if that's a similar theme as we are getting in a draft for game number 2. I am being informed that there is still a possibility that WyoBoomers can finish 6th instead of where they are right now. So they're not locked in their playoff position. Sounds like Lotus potentially can catch them or a couple teams below them. So I would expect to see pretty standard stuff coming out here from WyoBoomers, but Akuma are locked at 3rd. So what do you expect from them in this draft, Juice Box? Because they know where they stand.
Yeah, I think you still take it seriously. You can't mess around too much against a team like Boomers, right? Because the Boomers, they're really good. Just to be honest, they're one of the best teams running around in the league. You need to play against them and learn as much as you can against these good teams if you want to take on Glaive, if you want to take on VBO, right? You got to be on your A game so you can bring your A game later on. So I think Akuma Glaives, they're taking this completely seriously. You can see it in their bans. Both of these teams, they're not messing around. Positions, whatever. And Akuma Glaives, they're going to start off with a bit of a power pick in Tristana.
Yeah, that Tristana will come out. We know how strong that has been across world presence. It's a flex pick as well. Can go mid, can go bottom lane. And I would expect that both I Am No Jedi and Tupper can play this extremely well. So I do like the priority there as we see similar bands come across and does show a little bit of a different priority. We saw WyoBoomers prioritize the jungler. They wanted to get Rosero, that strong Hecarim. Instead, Akuma Glaive is going to favor the flexible start to their draft as we see the Kaisa come in to potentially answer this Tristana. I do have to be honest, that is an interesting answer to Tristana if that is the bot lane matchup, in my opinion, but maybe something that Palm Goat is comfortable with and maybe something that he just wants to get, lock in a strong AD carry, work on the rest of the draft.
I have to be honest. I just think that you can afford to put yourself in a bit of a compromising situation when there's as big of a skill discrepancy between, lanes, right? Pomgo and Birdman, clearly they're just the superior bottom lane over Tupper and Toy. And so, yeah, you could put yourself in that risk. They give Pomgo a more solo carry, 80 carry. I think that's really smart. I think that helps you a lot because Jin, Doctor said it best. He's got 4 shots, and then he's just kind of standing there reloading while everybody's just blasting him into the sand. And again, of course, Birdman looks great on the Nautilus. I mean, that's kind of what we know him for at this point. Blitzcrank and Lux, though, grabbed by the Glaives, and I think Lux is an insanely good mid lane pick right now. Doesn't really get a lot of recognition, but has awesome damage. It can just give you vision in places you have no right to be getting vision in, and with a Blitzcrank behind her, this could be some serious disaster. They're almost forcing a QSS tax already so you can get out of those light bindings if they ever hit you.
Yeah, we'll have to see how effective that is in the hands of I Am No Jedi. Of course, does have to be a mid laner because we do see the Blitzcrank in there.
Yeah.
So the battle of the hooks here in bottom lane. Traditionally we see the Thresh into Nautilus or Nautilus into Thresh. Nautilus is that counter pick because his hook comes out faster. But Blitzcrank versus Nautilus, who has the better hooks? Will it be Toy? Will it be Birdman? We'll find out as they match up for round number 2. Papa Francesco going to get his typical weak side top lane pick. Something usually like the Volibear, like the Gnar, or the Kennen that he really likes to play. Bans coming through. The Urgot and the Cho'Gath, of
A
course,
lot of
taken away.
respect.
They do not want any part of Giga's champion pool after that game number one.
Yeah, and they're like, okay, yeah, the Urgot's bad. We should probably. Oh, but the
Oh, it's
Shin.
It's
Okay,
Shen.
yeah,
Okay,
get the
yeah.
Shin. Yeah, yeah, that's worse. That's worse. Good call. Good call. No, but seriously, and then you got some scrappers taken out by the Glaives. They're gonna get rid of the Cassidon and the Lucian. So far, again, I'm liking what the Boomers have sort of put together for themselves. I do dig what Akuma has grabbed so far. They're giving Tuber a very strong pick. They're giving him the chance to really show his mettle here. And Bomb Goat's like, I accept this challenge. He's so. I'm gonna really be watching Tuber to see if he can win in this matchup. But you saw the Boomers hover Corky. They're going to grab Victor instead. And I have mixed feelings of Victor in the meta right now. I think it's a better champion for Trinity because it's a little easier to output damage on the Victor as opposed to the Ari. So hopefully Trinity can have a bit better of an impact into this game. And hey, there's the Lee Sin, Mouse Dixie about to get his hands on the kicky punchy guy.
Yeah, Val 60 does like his aggressive junglers, plays a lot of Olaf the Leeson, a little bit of a different flavor, of course, not exactly a jungler that fits with the current farming meta. He's a
Yeah.
very level 2, level 3 ganking jungler. Will be trying to set up with the Lux, who does have pretty good gank setup. You land that light binding. If you slow on the E, land the light binding, pretty much going to guarantee the Leeson comes in and kills you off. The Kennen actually going to be selected here for Giga in the top lane, and that's maybe a disrespect over to Papa Francesco. I know that Giga does play this champion, but it is a big favorite of Papa, and he will take it into Papa's Gnar. So we'll see how that matchup goes as the draft does round out here for WyoBoomers. They are going to pick up the Jarvan. So going to match the early game ganker with another early game ganker. So we are seeing some interesting looks from the draft here from these two teams. And I'll be honest, I asked you pre-draft here, Juicebox, what we would see from Akuva. I don't think this is a troll draft at all, but I do think they're testing some things here.
I would say I'm kind of biting my words right now. Yeah, I kind of like the first three picks in their own rights. I think they did a pretty bad job of putting the cherry on the top of the sundae here. Lee Sin is fine, but then you're really gonna want to grab a nice front line top laner. Kinnon's great as an engage, but there are plenty of tools for the Boomers to run away from Giga on that engage on the slicing maelstrom. So I think that Giga's gonna have a tough time looking for those initiations, and there is a very good chance with the composition that the Boomers have put together for themselves that engage is just gonna get stymied right from the get-go and just get squished. And what are you looking to do with Akuma Glaives lineup? I don't know what their game plan is.
Yeah, it will be an interesting one. We're going to have to keep our eyes very much on Malstixi, I would imagine, in this early game. Lee Sin needs to gank early, needs to get into lanes, get into your face. So we'll see where he does prioritize. I think, the Victor could be ripe for the picking. It is a gankable champion if you play around the gravity well. And again, there is some decent setup and range with the Lux. So I think I Am No Jedi could certainly get some lane control. But I do agree with you that this is not a typical gank setup lanes coming out here from Akuma. And if you want to get the Lee Sin ahead and have that be, a setup champion or your point of power to get objectives, it seems a little bit interesting to pair these two with him. So I will have my eyes on Malstixi to see where the early pathing and decision making comes from him and how they will play out this composition because, like you said, where does the carry come from unless this Tristana sort of just runs over the game?
Yeah, this is the most solo queue comp I think I've seen so far outside of a Bucky's game. It's just, it's just like you have a bunch of people, any one of them could pop off, and you might be able to win a game that way. But unfortunately, we are in a 5v5 situation. We're not a bunch of, people running around with like chickens with their heads cut off on a solo queue rift. This is heavy league, baby. And the Boomers, well, they have a composition. So I don't know. Again, this bit me last time. I just think that the Boomers should be able to win. Like they kind of, the only thing I could see Akuma pulling off is maybe if Jedi can get a nice light binding and then get a good hook by Toy, and the damage follow up would be really good, and try to create a 4v5 off the bat. But there's really only two people you want to hook on the side of the Boomers. And I'm going to tell you right now, Palm Goat probably not getting hooked on the Kaisa. There's just so many tools to get away from it. And Victor is frankly not easy to hook either. And especially with a Gnar, a Jarvan, and a big old Nautilus all kind of standing at that front line. It's going to be an interesting path to victory for Akuma.
Yeah, it will be an interesting path, but we'll see if they have the skill to pull it off. They managed to do it in game number 1 behind some heroics from their captain, but will Akuma move to a 2-0 series and jeopardize Boomers' playoff position, or will the Boomers, with this strong team fighting composition behind the likes of Trinity, the likes of Palm Goat, be able to turn it around, earn themselves a 1-1, and try to secure a higher playoff berth than they currently have right now? We'll find out right after this, as Necrox and Doctor will be taking care of you on the Rift.
Try to find the re-engage, but Birdman has the flash available. That could be big. The Petrifying Gaze and find a new one, but it's going to slow. There's your Piercing Darkness, but it doesn't matter. Roach is away.
Haha, y'all know it's the meme team time. Everybody here thinking they can bust a sick rhyme. Well, I'm here showing up to shut you down and prove that the Boomers are the best team all around. Let's start from the top. Bear Man, no it ain't no deer. Relentless Storm Francisco's got you full of fear. Caught in the headlights, shock stunned like a deer. He'll split the skies open, make it rain with your tasty tears. He got them bear claws, you know he's getting fed. Your sorry carcass fills your friends with that sickly dread. Grab a towel, man, you'll need to wipe your brow, cause when you step into the lane, who's your daddy now? You try to show up, but you get scattered, cause Trinity won't stand for your stupid chatter. All this clatter, your tasty batter, he's getting fatter, serve your deaths on a silver platter. Control mages like a puppeteer. To the left, to the right, and your death is clear. One hop, all it takes is a single sphere. Turn your screen gray, he laughs as you disappear. You getting the picture? Do I need to spell it out? W-Y-O, that's who I'm talking about. You can pout, you got no clout. You think you got a chance? Please, I'll press X to doubt. What's wrong, kid? Need a break? Need a little shade? Does the truth cut deep like a boomer blade? It's time to bow down. The king of bot displayed. While you degrade, getting played, his wins are ricocheted. Body after body, the corpse mountain piled high. That's how he likes it. Palm Goat lets the bullets fly. Y'all know gloats, they love to climb. That's why they're known as the greatest of all time. Try to assassin, you try to take him down. Enjoy the anchor to your face as you're dragged all around. I call it CC, you call it Death Note, cause when the depth charge rings, it's your name he wrote. They call him Birdman cause he'll send you flying. You're back at base respawning, still typing. You should be crying, you're denying, teammates sighing. I swear it's my pain, you exclaim, but you're lying. All across the lift, you'll never see him coming. Rest Zero, here's your heartbeat, the constant drumming. The beat is thumping, the speed becoming fast paced. You're panic cause there's no chance of running. Here, pick a card, any one of them will do. Out of all these junglers, all of them 52. You think it matters? Don't let it misconstrue. Master of the mall and he'll still silence you. Call us Hawaii, cause every lane's an island. Stacking solo kills, y'all were claim we are styling. I ain't lying. You're realizing we're redefining Boomer and it's you who'll be retiring. Like Vesuvius, you just can't handle us. We'll bury you in ash and dust and leave without a fuss. Our pyroclastic flow chokes you out, what you're lost in. If you try to come and play, best bring a coffin. Fight Mother Nature, please, it's you who'll see your fate is sealed. Open up the fortune cookie, your destiny revealed. You can't beat Everest, your climb is temporary. The whole world could end and we'll still be standing solitary. We're unbreakable, the highest thing on planet Earth. You think a couple L's points to our real worth? Y'all don't seem to understand, comprehend. The Vlad Banner's legacy is coming to an end.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, once again, and back to Summoner's Rift. We got Akuma Glaives taking on WyoBoomers for our second game in the evening. I am Necrox once again, joined by the Doctor, and indeed, we will be taking care of you on Summoner's Rift, but with the way things shaked out in game number 1, we're not going to get any third siege shenanigans, but there is technically a chance that Wyo get knocked down a peg.
Yeah, there's some stuff that can happen here, some shenanigans that may happen. I do think at this point it's mostly in terms of the other series going on tonight. The series between these two is deadlocked because Akuma Glaives are either going to get 1 point or 3 points, and so they don't move anywhere, whereas the Boomers are either going to get 1 point or 0 points, so their relation to Akuma, again, does not move. It's the Lotus matchup that has the most to do here, and then obviously New Age versus Orbital with the most movability here at the bottom of the table there in terms of who actually gets a playoff spot or not. And I mean, they kind of alluded to it on the desk about this being a for fun composition of the Akuma Glaive variety, but I don't know. I don't like Lee Sin, but it's a different hate than say Hecarim, who has at least some redeeming qualities as we've seen. Lee Sin's just in a really, how we say, I don't want to say unbalanced because that kind of has like this like whole like vibe about it, right?
Yeah, like
but
OP, like this not balanced, get it out of my game. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very swingy, vibe. Right? Like a fed Lee Sin is so different than like an even Lee Sin, right? So it's just really weird spot right now because I don't think he's like broken strong. I don't think he's like broken weak. I think he just, if he's ahead, he does too much. If he's even or behind, he doesn't do enough. Is kind of where that goes.
Okay, fair enough. I agree. If he's behind, he feels really weak. If he's ahead, he can feel slightly oppressive. Without the Gorge Drinker, it will be a little bit interesting. Probably going to be a Stride Breaker in for Malstixie, but we'll see. Keep an eye on the itemization that does come through, and the invades did not work out for either teams. Yeah, could actually go Eclipse for the lethality as well. We'll see. I truly don't know where Malstixie is headed, but only time shall tell. The invades did not work out for either team, though. The Blitzcrank did not run into 5-man brush. That is all too common, so both teams will be aware. And Rosero on this J4 is slightly ahead of his opponent for now, as 160 cleans up his red. Rosero on his now as well. So we'll see how these two junglers want to interact with either of their lanes as they're headed to different sides of Summoner's Rift.
Yeah, and this is going to be that Conqueror Jarvan, so I do expect we're going to get Tank Jarvan off of that. You know, you do actually need to survive to get the most out of Conqueror, so, you know, going that full damage explosive route doesn't always net you the best results there. So I do have to imagine we're going to see a Chem Tank coming out of Rosero. It makes sense. You do need some sort of beefiness here on the front line that, while Papa Francesco as the Gnar can offer some of the time, not all of the time. So it is going to be that Stride Breaker. Gnar, I have to imagine the item is still incredibly strong, and it still has a lot going for it, as we do see the first gank of the game.
Oh, a nice root from I Am No Jedi in Trinity. He's in trouble, and first blood to Malstixie. They pass that one on over to the Lee Sin, and this is what you were talking about, Doctor. All of a sudden, the Lee Sin is ahead.
Yeah, it gets a little oppressive here because they're going to be able to invade now, take it to Rosero, who does kind of want to farm a little bit so they can pick up these items and then start impacting the lanes. And, you know, the desk was talking about how this isn't like a traditional... oh, wait, stuff happened.
Oopsie daisy, Toy. That's not what you want to see. The hook, but it does not matter as Palm Goat gets Toy with the TPs here from I Am No Jedi. Trying to clean this one up, but doesn't get the binding. Gets the passive, but the exhaust is there. Can Palmo get away? No, the auto will take him down, but Birdman, one more hook, the slow, the flash to follow, and Birdman will clean up the TP in mid laner. Trinity used that one to get back to the lane, so could not respond. 2-2. These teams are going at it.
I think if the exhaust had been used a little bit earlier, I don't think Palm Goat actually dies there. Birdman, though, certainly gonna die eventually. Maybe it's Tooper.
Oh my gosh, what is this? Nautilus, by the way, is a balanced champion. Tooper has to heal. That should not have been that close. Feels 80 carry, man.
So, all right, hold up. Time out. I'm gonna defend the anti AD carry hate for a second, because even I know when a line has to be drawn, and as an AD carry, you should not be jumping into 3 waves worth of caster minions. They just do too much damage. Minions are actually OP. If there were less minions, if honestly, if Tuber auto attacked one of those low HP casters and cleared that whole line, then they probably don't have to burn the heal there. But they don't. They eat 1 billion damage from the caster minions, and that's life, right? Sometimes these things happen.
Nope.
Now they're dead.
That feels carry, man. We're speaking about the 1v1, but there were no minions that time, Doctor. How do you explain that one, huh? No, it's 80 carry, buff him, buff Papa Francesco as well as Toys here on the top side. Man, support is such a broken role when you do it correctly, and Papa will go down support, man, Doctor. I don't know how Juicebox isn't like challenger at this point. The role is just too good.
Yeah, I mean, support's just like brain dead. They give way too much gold. Ever since they took away the ward bot feature, it's just been absolutely broken. Definitely Francesco not respecting or even over respecting the hook there in that scenario. You definitely need to hold flash until the hook is actually visible. But again, why aren't we respecting minions? They hurt. You cannot
All the roles that are supposed to be the carries aren't doing anything. It's the support and the minions that are winning this game right now. First Dragon finally will go down. WyoBoomers gonna claim that one. This is the same way they started game number 1, but Tooper is looking to make it a little bit different. Palm Goat will die. No summoners to save the Kais. Mal Sticks is showing up, grabbing his second.
Feels 80 carry, man. It's just like there is nothing you can do in that scenario. You don't have flash, you don't have a dash ability. The enemy flashes on top of you, and you're just kind of like, oh, so I guess I'll just die then. That's neat. And now Birdman is feeling the same fate. Birdman, actually has a dash here. If they could have not been body blocked the whole time, but it's Malstixi on a killing spree, and they haven't even bought. By the way, they have a 27, call it 2,800 gold in the bank, just big chilling.
Yeah, and Papa Francesco trying to get himself out as well. Has bought the Iron Spike Whip. It's gonna be stunned up. There's the Lux ulti. Didn't need the binding. Cool guys don't look at explosions, but Mal Stixie in the bot side is gonna claim one, but it's gonna be shut down immediately. The shutdown will be passed over to Rosero, but the Chaos Storm is ticking, and that's a lot of damage. Trinity gonna do it all, but Rosero picking up 2 kills.
This is definitely a for-fun game. This is just so ridiculous. Both the teams are just slamming into each other, just having a good time with it. And we're already at 1/3 of the total amount of kills as the entire last game, which you said it best was a bit of a marathon. It was close to 40 minutes, if not over 40 minutes. I don't remember exactly. So, this is already a hyper-fast game. And because of the champions that have been chosen, it's only really going to get faster. Malstixi first back completes a mythic, and it is going to be the Prowler's Claw, which is not something I'd considered, but it's definitely a scary thing to be had. I mean, because you kind of just need to get close to somebody with a ward hop, pop Prowler's Claw, kick them into a wall, and then hit them with a Resonating Strike, and they're dead. That's fair and balanced, and I'm excited to see it.
Trinity's got his dancing shoes on, by the way, but Malstix, he don't need no freaking boots. He runs at him with a Prowler's Claw, and with all that lethality, Trinity just ends up dead for the 6th kill, or 9th time. That's the wrong way around. Birdman channeling Tooper. Gonna be able to get away from that hook, but yeah. This is definitely a for-fun game, but if you don't have hands like me, you just run the Prowler's Claw. Free insects, Doctor. You just hop behind them, kick them back into your team. It's a neato combo.
Just flash, forehead. Why do you,
just flash.
Why do you need hands or an item? Just flash.
Oh my
pop
gosh.
up, friend.
What in the world? That was the biggest bait of all time from Giga, and somehow he stays alive. Oh, the memes that are commencing in this game, Doctor. It's heartwarming of all.
That is a 3rd all-pro team play right there. That is definitely how Giga earned their spot there.
Toy hooked into the bot side as it's Rosero's time to shine, and Birdman, no. Filthy man Birdman taking the kill credit. Support is 3 and 2. Oh, Palm Goat diving in with a killer instinct, and the hook as well. The exhaust from Palm Goat to make sure Bird can get out alive. Well done diving Tuper under restrict as Rosero, Bird, and Palm will all whack away in this bot tier 1. Looking to claim first turret, but Giga is doing the same, trying to clear this one away, but Jungler nowhere near, and this should go down if they want, but no, they'll actually pull away and let this one live for a little bit longer.
It'll be close, yeah, especially with that minion wave. It will probably live. The dragon is in 45 seconds, so the timing here is definitely going to be in lieu of going back. Oh, it's even Predator Blitzcrank. That's gross.
Oh, look how depressing this is for Trinity. He's just dead again. Third time in the game, he just gets hit by one light binding, and Toy's like, yo, what's up, my guy? I'm here again. Ward over the wall, but Mouse 60 has one of his own. There's your resonating strike, and a shutdown's been passed on over to Mouse 60, as now he has to face the real challenge in the 3 and 2 Nautilus. Birdman warding Mouse 60 away from the base as he will retreat. 13 seconds on the Dragon. Jedi is very, very low. Has to be very careful, but Dragon's available in 6, doesn't have time to recall and walk, so will have to TP if they want to stay around for the fight.
I think they're just going for the pick play here. You know, they have the Blitzcrank, the...
Oh my gosh, man, the fighting doesn't stop dead. Tuper, 1 and 4. We're not done though.
No.
Mouse Dixie's coming in again. The TPs are being channeled to the bot side as Palm Goat having to flash away. Nice feet there to dodge out on the resonating strike, but there's the Cataclysm. Mouse 60 ward hops in the wrong direction. Just goes to a minion. Nice hook from Toy, and Jedi easy lineups to snipe out Rosero.
Hey, Necrox, you want to tell me what mythic Rosero has completed there when you get a chance?
Oh no. Okay, all right. It's official. This game is a full-on meme. The first turret's gone down, and 13 to 11 at 12 minutes. I just need WyoBoomers to grab a couple more kills, and then both teams have more kills than there are minutes in the game. That's what I'm hoping for.
It's a tough ask, though, realistically. I mean, the composition here from Akuma Glaive is actually really strong at picking people apart. I mean, even without that lethality Lee Sin, who now has a fully completed Umbo Glaives, who need boots, it's just so easy to catch somebody. We're even going to get a teleport to the top side. Papa Francesco is not having a good time here today. Should die as well, as the ultimate is available for... actually, not available. Doesn't need it.
Does not need it at all, Papa. No way out. 0-4-0 on the Gnar. Feels top lane this time around. Toys here just to clean up the wave. Grabbing the cannon, hand that one on over to Giga, and they will do a little bit of damage with 30 seconds remaining on plates. Knock down a couple of these bad boys. Extra gold in the pocket, but 2 dragons to WyoBoomers. That feels good, man, as Rosero feeling gank, man. Gonna go in mid lane. The binding does not connect, but there's your Prowler's Claw. The Buster shot will push him away, but it's just not enough. Jedi will lose his life along with Rosero in a 1-for-1 trade as Papa TPs back top to collect the wave.
This is the most Prowler Claws I've seen in a single game ever. It's only 2. I mean, there's so much movement around the map. I mean, you see the engage from Rosero, which could be a bit binary if it was just left up to the flag and drag.
Nice hook from Toy. Oh, that one was depressing. Mouse Dixie ignite. Bye, Mouse Dixie. Get it with the red buff. And 0-5-0. How long was it ago that I said 0-4-0? I don't feel like it was too long. Yeah, and now Papa's 0-5, so going for the most deaths in an excellency heavy game, maybe. That's the record he's trying to set. Oh my gosh, Mouse Stick. Okay, you know what? You deserve to die for that one, I'm not gonna lie.
They were just checking red buff. They weren't expecting the whole team to be there. Just not really expecting it. I mean, who does, to be honest? But we do see more stuff happening on the map. We actually see Jedi picking up the Dark Seal as well. All right, there you go, Tuber.
Root.
Whoa,
Hook.
what?
Cooper ignited under the turret, has to flash away. Pretty tanky is this Nautilus at this point in the game, but in comes Giga with a slicing Maelstrom, and Trinity's gonna be shut down with a nice Gale Force from Cooper to get a little bit of extra gold. Birdman looking at a 2v1, but not quite strong enough. Nice Cataclysm from Rosero, but an even better hook from Toy will drag him under the turret and seal his fate as Giga, Jedi, and Tori get to push out this mid wave and knock down, hopefully, mid tier 1. Come on, do it. Teamwork? No, Toy's gone.
You know, Necros, there's a lot of talk from us casters here behind the desk about, you know, who fits which game best and, you know, what, you know, combination I think really jives correctly. And I definitely feel like this is a Juicebox DJ game here. And, you know, there's just a lot of for-funning it. You know, we're seeing teams just clashing non-stop, and we're seeing objectives taken, but it definitely feels like it's the secondary objective. I feel like we've accidentally loaded into, you know, the experimental team deathmatch mode here at Riot headquarters, and so we'll see how high these numbers can get. I mean, we're blown past game 1, and I thought game 1 was active, to be fully honest, because there was a lot of action last game, and this game is just, it's even more.
Yeah, I mean, this might be one of the most kill intensive games Excellency's ever seen. Is Tooper, one more auto from Palm,
He lives!
doesn't quite get it, and that's going to do a lot of damage to Palm Goat in the back end. Rosero's looking for the play. Has the Prowler's Claw, trying to get his way in, but Rosero, no, my friend Jedi will get his 5th of the match, and everyone has a lot of gold. Like, just everyone on Summoner's Rift is filthy rich, minus Papa. He's 050 with 117 CS, so he doesn't count as a real champion in this game. But outside of him, everyone is filthy rich. It feels like when one of those complexes where everyone's got the 3-car garages with their Lambos as Mount 60 trying to make the tower dive happen. Toy with a nice hook to bring back Birdman at max range. Palm Goat looking to trade it, but will only find one. Actually gets 2 on the likes of I Am No Jedi as well. 30 seconds on the Dragon, but at this point, just don't go for it. Just keep going for kills. Papa has been left alone for too long. Go kill him. I need a C6.
That's twice now we've seen Malstixi miss the point and click resonating strike, which is a little worrying if this were a real game. But you're right, Papa Francesco's been alive for probably the longest so far this game total. So definitely a worrying trend if I've ever seen any. They're going to be able to pick up the dragon when it spawns, delaying that, you know, soul point there for the Boomers. Once again, it is the Earth Dragon though, so it doesn't actually help you kill people. So I'm not sure they're actually that concerned about it.
Yeah, I mean, resistances when you're trying to go for kills, it only keeps you alive. It doesn't do more damage. And with double Prowler's Claw, that's all you're looking to do is just straight up damage. Can Rosero steal this one away? No. It is Giga to claim the dragon. The captain here for Akuma Glaives coming up big.
Toy though, gonna miss the first hook for a minute. The Toy's hooks have actually been insane. I'm kind of surprised we didn't see more of this champion, because Blitzcrank is an actual meta viable champion. I mean, we've seen it constantly at the professional level over there in the LEC. I do believe we've seen some in the eastern regions as well, and it's a strong pick. It has a lot of volatility, sure, but it actually brings a lot to the table. Being able to simply remove a single champion from the safety of their half of the map and then bring them into what is essentially not their neighborhood, Punk. It's such a great utility to have, and you do get quite tanky as the champion as well. This game we even see that Chem Tank Battle Song completed into the mobility boost. So this is definitely the pick crank, but you can see tank crank sometimes.
Yeah, Shirelia's in, and there's your hook, and there's a very dead J4. That was probably the quickest one shot we've seen this game, but of course, as the damage piles through, it's only going to get quicker. There you go. There's another one onto Toy as he tries to get a little too extended for another hook, and Void Seeker can find its way. Kennen has a nice flank. Giga's arrived, and Palm Goat's in a little bit of danger with the flash over the wall just in time from Palm Goat. We'll get him to safety. Nice binding onto Papa. Will take out about his quarter of his HP, but watch that Mega Gnar. The Rage is in. Has one more tick available. Birdman's on the chase. barely gets his hook, but it's in the wrong spot onto the wall. Jedi's been knocked up. There's another hook with all that ability. Haste flying in the back line is Palm Goat claiming Jedi. A two-man binding, but it's only to get his team out. His two members here have been taken down. Rosero's back on the run, but no objectives to take just quite yet. The Baron can't be grabbed. And finally, we'll see a team push for a turret toy. That's a nice play, but Francesco will go down minus the Gnar ulti. Birdman soon to follow. There you go. Giga's unstoppable. The man's 5-0-6. Over the wall goes Mount 60 with the Warthog looking for the play. There's your kick. A lot of damage coming through with the Acathian Rain. Palm Goat makes it an even trade, but will lose his life after all. Rosero may be looking for the play, but does not commit. 4 members wiped off the map, and now Akuma Glaives looking towards Baron.
Not gonna go for it though. They are gonna think better of that decision. This composition is actually quite scary from both sides in a certain degree, but we're seeing so much pick reliance from both teams, and when you break it down to that little globule, right? Like if you look at these compositions, like all we're gonna do is pick and kill. That's all we're gonna do for the next 30 minutes or so. The Akuma Glaives just have such a better composition for it. I mean, we've already seen Toy being able to hit some nutty hooks and bring somebody into the front line, but we're also seeing Jedi actually pop off. And, Jedi, I don't think is the strongest mid laner here in Heavy League, but they're definitely showcasing some really good talent. I mean, the Corki game was quite spectacular from them. The Lux is working out very nicely as well. They've hit a lot of key light bindings. We do see Tupper under siege once again.
Oh, Tupper, nice hook mid-air, snags him out of the air like a bird. Giga with a nice flank, but exhausted immediately, and that's the quickest one shot. There's your trophy. Toy very low. One more auto would find it. Hook under the turret. Rosero will take a little bit of damage, but it does not matter. Palm Goats found himself a triple kill in the fight, and it is WyoBoomers that now find themselves in a winning state. Birdman looking for the hook, but Mouse 60 ward hop into safety. And Baron, is it they're actually going to commit for it this time? Indeed. We're going to get a Baron. Tupper's up in 8 seconds. Giga no TP. Dead for the next 10. Baron's going to be burned down. Jedi looking for a steal.
Jedi would have the option to steal here. Does have that final light there. Doesn't opt in to use it. It's just a tad late. But either way, it is going to be Baron over to the Boomers. And that's a huge thing to come through here at 23 minutes into the game. Flash for flash, they're so aggressive. Jedi at only half HP just didn't really have the option to not flash there because it is a Jarvan. Dragon is going to be spawning in 30 seconds as well, and chat has a lot of faith in the Boomer squad, Necrox, I'm going to be honest. They actually said that Wyo would be able to secure the Dragon Soul, so chat has a lot of faith.
Well, I mean, Baron's the first stepping stone. You push in the waves, you get the priority you need, and then head on over to the Dragon Pit. Pretty free, but that'll only get you one. Baron does not last long enough for both that are required. Papa's hopping forward. There's your Stride Breaker, but Toy pulls him away. Still has the Gnar ulti, flashing forward for the play. There's the stun. Void Seeker, Trinity has found one. With a Chaos Storm ticking down onto Giga, has to get away. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but into the back line goes Palm Goat. They found Tupper, and he's looking for more. Gale forcing forward. Palm Goat coming up big, and now they're on the chase. Malstixi and Giga are on the run, but Birdman, Rosero, and Palm not looking to give him anywhere to go. Rosero will claim the kill. That's lethality Jarvan, baby. Does some damage, can't stay alive for long, but there's no kill threat from the enemy team. It just doesn't matter. Oh, that's a sad moment. It is everyone dead. Toy respawns, but the unofficial ace comes through for WyoBoomers, and they grab their 3rd dragon of the game.
That was so great. Oh, Giga finally dies a 2nd time. His KDA is chalked, absolutely ruined. Just throw the whole top laner away. It's actually kind of funny that sequence of events happened, because I said it to you right before we went live. I was like, man, the Akuma Glaives actually picked up like a tier 180 carry. They just trolled the rest of the draft. And coincidentally, WyoBoomers picked an actual S plus tier 80 carry in the terms of Kaisa. And Palm Goat has been smurfing all over Tooper. Like last game was not AD carry diff for Tooper. Like Pongo definitely was the stronger AD carry player last game. 1,000% the better AD carry player this game so far as well. So Palm God is definitely looking once again to drag his corpse of a team to the finish line here and actually win this game, splitting the series. And it's up to the rest of the Boomers to lighten the load as much as possible. This is a huge start to it, but
Papa has the mega palm, greatest of all time, gonna get the opening kill. Tooper trades one back, but it's never gonna be enough. Double kill on over to Palm Go once again as Trinity cleans up the rest of the fight. Man, oh man, I thought Akuma Glaives had this one, but Boomers are fighting back. They're not going to sleep just quite yet as Toy sends that one to the moon.
Yeah, I mean, that was just crazy. I mean, the fact that they hooked in Papa Francesco with a full rage bar was kind of doomed. But the great play from Mal60 was actually then to dragon kick him away, and he just coincidentally hit him into Palm Goat. And because of that sequence event, Palm Goat started that fight at half HP. That was a really great shot for Akuma Glaive to actually turn that around, take Palm Goat out of the action, and win a big fight that they then could have used to push aggressively to try and get some of these tier 2 towers. But Palm Goat able to stay alive, doesn't have heal either, which is like such an odd play looking at these compositions. Again, how is Birdman's fat butt getting cooked there instead of Palm Goat?
Oh my gosh, look at the damage from Mal60. He one-shots the enemy lethality jungler, so whoever's getting the first bit of damage is always going to come out on top, and Mal60 makes Rosero pay.
I think Lee Sin wins that 100% of the time. I don't think Jarvan ever beats Lee Sin at any stage going.
I mean, not in a 1v1, not in full-on isolation, but you could get the knock-up Palm Goat come flying in. But yeah, regardless, Mal60 just going to put a foot to his throat and send Rosero back to the fountain. It's relatively short death timers because no one has been getting XP, no farm, no CS. No one cares about that, Doctor. It's as many kills as we can get. And both teams, there we go. It's more than a kill a minute for both WyoBoomers and Akuma Glaives. Now we got Soul in 2 minutes. We're here awfully early. This is too much objective prep for me. Stop. Go get more kills, guys.
So I wanted to bring up a comparison. And it's not going to hit as well because I can't remember one of the names of the people I was going to bring up. But if you've seen My Hero Academia and you saw the tournament arc, there's Red Riot. And then there's the guy that turns into Steel, whose name is just so stupid I can't remember. And they just literally beat each other into submission because neither one of them can die. Unlike Tooper. And I was going to say these two teams are just that. They're just literally fighting each other until passing out. So Rosero actually sold their Mythic and bought a different one, Necrox. I'm just being told by chat.
I'm all I'm gonna say about this one, Doctor, is it makes me feel real good to be a gold player at this point watching this game because this looks like my kind of solo queue. Oh, gosh up, little man. Oh, it's gonna go down. Birdman, he's the carry with 4 kills. Giga gonna go gold and try to avoid some damage. Mal60 over the walls on a killing spree. Chaos Storm going to get Giga low, but not anywhere near death. 32-32. Soul's up in 38 seconds. Mal60 may be dead. No, Papa's gonna opt to peel away from that one, and 30 seconds now on Soul Doctor. Is chat correct? That's all we care about now. Go. Soul time, Wyo! Avenge!
It's only 15 seconds. I do think this could potentially be a game deciding one because Baron's also alive too. So if one team just gets aced here, which is it's entirely possible both sides looking at the compositions we have here, there is a very real chance that Boomers could get Soul and Baron so choose. It is up to them to dodge the Blitzcrank hook, so I do like that they're dragging the dragon out here. So it's forcing Toy into a tough position, trying to get over the wall here. The final spark is available. The hook lands.
Oh, Papa, that was so sweet. So sad he didn't have the items to make everyone die in a heartbeat. Lethality, simply a better build, my friend. Triple kill for Palm Goat on the back end of the fight with a beautiful killer instinct. And you get that red buff, Papa. You deserve it.
Palm God. Palm God, Palm God, Palm God. It's just so good. It's so 80 carried. Giga, he's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He's dead. He just popped.
Why is Birdman taking the Quadra away though from Pomgo? Wait,
He's taking Baron. He's dueling Baron.
I see. Now it all makes sense, Doctor. Now Pixie though did get the dragon away, I believe. He was the member to steal that one away, so that will deny a little bit more time. There's the hook onto Toy. Another one shot. Is anyone surprised at this point? As two-man Baron as well. 38-32. Finally, there's an actual gold lead, so Wyo might be able to close this one out, but this is just simply the peak of real competition.
This is peak League of Legends, I guess, is what we're gonna say about that. But no, Palm Goat is so good at the game. Like, again, if you didn't have him team 1, you're literally trolling. As I take a look at mine to remind me where I put him, and oh yeah, first. So definitely showing up tonight. And this game was actually looking quite doomed for the Boomers. I'm going to be honest with you. It was a bit troll coming in from Akuma Glaive in the first like 10 minutes or so, but it was so action-packed, and the early game carriers of Akuma Glaives were actually getting a lot of gold. You were talking about it when each team had about 12 kills. They were like, everybody's filthy rich except Francesco because he's dead the whole game. Like, everybody else has, filtered into the IRA. They're getting their dividends. They're cashing out their GME stonks. And they were rolling in it. We had mythics at like 10 minutes. Everybody was feeling great. And now a couple minutes later, and by a couple I mean 20, we do have both teams above a kill a minute. We are having Papa Francesco almost over a kill a minute. Not Papa Francesco, that's the name that distracted me. Palm Goat at almost more than a kill a minute. And this game has fallen so far away from the Akuma Glaives that at this rate, it does look like they are going to end up splitting the series.
I really hope Toy had broadcast up and he heard that Papa was going for the most deaths in Excellency Heavy History. And he's like, no, that's my title. And is now running it down at the speed of light with Shirelli as Palm Goat looking for the one shot onto Mouse 60, but won't be able to get it. Flash away from the Lee Sin, but that was like a Q auto Gale Force.
There wasn't even a Q. I mean, there wasn't even an auto. The auto didn't connect. The Gale Force didn't connect. Those were all the Acathian Rain. Like that was. Wait, is that even a Q? I don't even remember.
Oh boy, this is your game-ending fight. You gotta believe Papa Francesco here on the front line doesn't have too much HP to work with, but Giga's gone golden, but he will go to sleep as WyoBoomers will rack up game number 2. Of course, it's another triple for a Palm Goat. Yeah, he showed up in this game, but do you count it as a real game? I have no idea. Mouse Stixie checks out nice and early out of this one. Don't look back, boys. Just keep going forward.
Was that a throw, or am I still alive? Are we still talking about how great Palm Goat is? I think we're still going to talk about how great Palm Goat is, because that definitely was a game. Yeah, it was definitely a game. And Palm Goat 24, 5, and 10, 200 CS. That is a playoff level performance.
I mean, if Palm Goat can do that in a real game, then hands down best AD carry. I'll change my vote. You can count my words, but not quite going to be my prediction for Palm Goat in the playoffs. But I have an even more daunting task ahead of us, and it is luckily not either of our jobs to do it. It's our analyst desk that has to break down that game and what even went on. So DJ and Juicebox Guy, good luck, my friends. You're gonna need it.
Oh, Papa Francesco, the poor man, for just 2 subs, to this humble channel. You can buy a turret for Papa Francesco to hide behind. And then please buy 2 more, because apparently 1 wasn't enough for him in the early game. Rest in peace, our killless pastor.
In the arms of an angel.
Okay, the memes are done, at least for them. Meanwhile, the entirety of Akuma Glaives is flaming their AD carry in chat. Definitely an AD gap in this game, as we heard Palm God being cast left, right, and center. And yes, truly is the god of the Rift in this game that was so very real and so very, very top class here, Juicebox Guy.
I mean, look, when I'm looking for the future NA LCS talent that are coming down the pipeline, it's games like this that really just reinvigorate my spirit for the region as a whole. Yeah, you know, there was a part where Papa Francesco was rocking 0, 5, and 0. Poor guy was just getting tortured, and then eventually, because Akuma had a composition, they eventually did just kind of win the game, or the Boomers rather.
Yeah, I think we were talking about it behind the scenes. You know, it was certainly a blitz of an early game from Akuma Glaives. They were all over the map. Malstixi had 6 or 7 kills. He was diving tier 2 turrets. He was killing Francesco in between his turrets. But you just knew watching the game that Akuma was playing for kills. They weren't taking objectives. They had a free second Ocean Drake for themselves that they didn't even